All right, YouTube should be coming up now.
Tuesdays here is the time again.
They were a little picky tonight.
Call your friends, grab your coffee, pull up a chair. MF, we're going live and the gang's all there. Tom W5KUB's in control, streaming the show with a whole lot of soul.
I see Glenn's in the chat room tonight.
We unite. Ham radio magic every Tuesday night. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Glenn KW5GP, tech so bright. Brett WY7BG, signals just right. Hey, and Mark P's there in the chat room too. And laugh and learn and sending questions through. Tune in 8 p.m. the moment's right. At W5KUB.com Tuesday night.
All right, let's see who we got in here tonight. KI7DAN, welcome. I see Glenn in there. I don't see him connected yet to the show. Let's see. John's in here, KC7DIR. For some reason, YouTube didn't want to let us on tonight, but we were able to fix that. We're on X.com, Twitch TV, and we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. Have to write all those down. I can't remember them. Show will start in about 20 minutes for you guys that are tuned in. We welcome you if you're listening on shortwave on WBCQ on 7490. This is a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics. We're in a pre-show right now, just setting up. The show will start at 8 o'clock Central Time, and that's about 20 minutes from now. So stick with us. We're glad you're with us.
Amateur radio roundtable, it's our time. Tom, Glenn, Brett, Mark, and View, sharing the waves with me and you. Join the fun, don't miss the flight. At W5KUB.
Say hello to Randy. Say hi to Randy. KN6BZG. He's always on. Thank you, Randy.
Tune it in, the static fades MF. Voices rising on the RF waves. Every night it's time to go. Ham fams meeting on the video. Tom W5KUB's in control. Ham pushing the stream with that broadcast soul. From shack to screen, near or far, he's the reason we know who we are. He is the amateur radio roundtable, and live and loud rocking every label. We're on at 8 Central every night, with signals clear and spirits bright. With Tom, Glenn, KW5GP, and Brett WY7BG, and a shout out to Mark P. You know, he brings the heat. Join the crew and tag along at W5KUB.com. Glenn's in deep with the DIY MF, building radios that touch the sky. Schematic dreams and soldered art, he brings that maker's heart. Then Brett's on air, strong and clear, rocking Wyoming from ear to ear. He's wrangling signals like a boss, showing the world what hams don't talk. It's the amateur radio roundtable. We're loud, we're more than cable. 8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen, with hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. We're at W5 the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen with hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. We're at W5KUB.com. Got the dial set, coffee in my hand, MC. Signals in the air from across the land. A shack, a screen, and a vibe so right. We're going live again this Tuesday night. It's not just static, it's a call sign wave, where legends hang and the airwaves blaze. Hit the stream, yeah, don't be late. The roundtable's rolling, it's gonna be great. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from here, DD. Oh, and Mark P, yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites, we learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, it's always something cool and new. No matter the band, no matter the zone, you'll feel at home when you click that tone. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio on table every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from in every ear. Oh, and Mark P, yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. Turn it on, let it play. From the heart of the hobby, night or day. Voices rising in the air. We're connected everywhere. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio on table real time. From Tom, Glenn, Brett to Mark P, they're the crew you want on your screen to see. So hit that stream and lock it tight. W5KUB.com.
John, I think we made our first show on, I think it was January 28th. January 28th. So it would have been either last week or this week. Today may be the anniversary. This week or last week, I think.
From coast to coast, we're tuning in at W5KUB. Let's begin. Whether you're a novice or extra class, there's a place for you. Come join the blast. Building bridges from shack to shack. Ham radio family, we got your back. It's the best ham show on earth.
Say hello to KN4FYK. Thanks for joining us.
At W5KUB.com. It's out of sight from QRP to satellites in flight. Tom's got you covered, he's bringing the light. Come on now, don't miss the view. The roundtable's waiting for you. Glenn KW5GP breaks it down so clean. MC.
I see Glenn in the chat room.
Dream scene. GE
Maybe he'll connect in here in a minute. Maybe he. Nope, he's not connected yet. With Hamfest treasures, a picker's dream, radios, gadgets, vintage and new, showing off the finds that make us drool. It's the best damn show on earth. Amateur radio roundtable, full of worth. Tune in 8 p.m. Tuesday nights at w5kub.com. It's out of sight from QRP to satellites in flight. Tom's got you covered, he's bringing the light. Come on now, don't miss the view. The roundtable's waiting for you. KN4FYK. Hey, you can change your name in the chat room if you want to. Down there where you type, just type in a /Nick, N-I-C-K, space, and then just type your new name in, your call letters or whatever you want to use. /Nick, space, and then whatever your name should be. Now change your name. See you Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central at w5kub.com. All right, welcome to everybody out there listening on WBCQ 7490. We're glad you're with us. This is pre-show. We're kind of warming up, getting everybody set up for the show. The show starts in about 10 minutes. It's about amateur radio and ham radio, shortwave, electronics, things like that. So we're glad you're with us tonight. Send us an email. Let us know where in the world you're listening from. We'd like to hear where you are. Give us a signal report. You can send that email to Tom at w5kub.com. Tom at w5kub.com. And we'll get started here in about eight minutes. We're making ham dreams come true. It's the best ham show on earth. Amateur radio roundtable. Know your worth. On the air tonight. The roundtable's lit and the signal's tight. For static fades, I twist the knob. The shack comes alive, this is my job. LEDs glow, antennas high. Another night beneath the sky. I'm calling out, hear that tone. Across the globe, I'm not alone. The net's alive and I'm checking in. Let the conversation begin. Yeah, I just completely missed our 10th anniversary. We should have thrown a big party or something. Glenn's got mods on a breadboard base. Brett's breaking news from a distant place. Tom's at the helm like a seasoned vet, streaming it live on the internet. All right, Glenn, I'll resend you the link. It's the same link that I think you used last week. It's the normal link we've used most of the year. I'll resend it to you. All right, Glenn, you got a link.
Tune it in, the static fades, a myth. Voices rising on the RF waves. Every night it's time to go. Ham fams meeting on the video. Tom W5, KUB's in control. Pushing with that broadcast soul. From shack to screen, near or far. He's the reason we know who we are. Signature Radio Roundtable. Living loud, rocking every label. We're on at 8 Central every night. With signals clear and spirits bright. With Tom, Glenn, KW5GP, and Brett WI7BG. And a shout out to Mark P. You know he brings the heat. Join the crew and tag along at W5KUB.com. Yeah! Glenn's in deep with the DIY. Building radios that touch the sky. Schematic dreams and soldered art. He brings that maker's heart. Then Brett's on air, strong and clear.
Yeah, Lester, just type in /Nick, Nick, then a space, and then whatever name you want to be called. Welcome, WD8IOL.
8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen with hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone.
All right, hey, tonight we're going to be talking about radio sonde. Is that how you pronounce it? How to find these radio sondes and how to convert them for ham radio use. Brett's got some information about some Hamfest. And he's got some really interesting information about Meshtastic we might want to hear. Bill Brown's going to be joining us tonight. And I see Glenn there. Hello, Glenn. Glad to have you tonight.
Hey.
Glad to have Glenn. Let's see if he's in here. Yeah, there he is. There he is, right there.
Audio?
Yeah, you got audio. Uh-huh.
Cool.
All right. Let's see. What else is going on tonight? I got a few ice and snow pictures I'll show you. Man, it is still pretty bad here in my neighborhood. I'll tell you that right now. How you doing, Glenn, in your neighborhood?
Yeah, on the ground. Well,
So,
we got, but not too horribly bad.
yeah. Man, it's just not.
Oh,
It's
here we
starting
go.
to rain
I'm
a little
freezing
bit,
again, huh?
so it's going to melt. We're above freezing, so. But man, I just took the garbage out, and my driveway is uphill. Man, it is a solid sheet of ice, man. I was making an inch at a time.
Yeah, my screen is freezing really.
Really bad, huh? Okay, tell you what, let's do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change your upload speed here to. I got you set down pretty low right now. Let me adjust what you're sending up. Remote guest video bandwidth. I've got you at 500K. Let's see. I'm gonna put you back up. Well, let's see if I put you at 2000K streaming. That's your limit, so that's probably not good. But there's Bill. I bumped you up to 2000. That's probably gonna be pretty bad. So, say something, Glenn.
Yeah, I don't think it's my upload speed.
Well,
Something else going on.
Well, you've got an upload speed of 2 megs max, and I can set your upload speed here that you're streaming. In other words, if I set you at 3 megs up and you only have 2 up, that's definitely not good. So I'm gonna put you back down.
You're focusing
At what?
not the problem. You keep harping on upload speed, and that is not the issue because it affects Bill, it affects Brett, it affects everyone. So you're going to say, all have the same problem on my uplink.
Well, they may or may not.
The facts do not fit the symptoms.
All right. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Let's see. I don't hear any Bill's audio. Let me see what Bill's audio is.
He's still.
Bill, you there? Let me turn your audio on. Hang on one second. Oh, your audio is on. All right, Bill.
I'm here. My audio is here.
I hear Brett. Hey, Brett. Bill, thanks for joining. All right, Bill. What kind of network are you on tonight? I'm not hearing you, Bill. 40. Oh, wait a minute. Now I can hear you. I bet you I can hear you now. Say something, Bill.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, Bill.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
hear
see
you.
my video.
Yeah, I hear you.
It freezes it.
Okay, tell you what I'm going to do. I would like to do this. I'm going to capture. I'm going to have you call back in, Bill, but I'm going to set up a link for you to do a debug log. It'll just take a second. Set it up. Let's see, video call. Copy the link. Okay. Enable debug log. Okay. All right, Bill, I'm sending you an email with a new link I'd like you to connect to.
Okay.
All right, it's sent. And while I'm at it, I'm going to set up a new call for Glenn that is going to get us a debug log. Okay. All right, Glenn, I just sent you a new link. If you'll connect to that, that'll get us some statistics here that they can look through and help us here. So yeah, both of you guys would disconnect and connect back to that new link. All right. So, Glenn, you're already back? Let's see. Let me see what you're on. No, wait, you're not back yet. All right, Brett, are we having
Yeah.
trouble with you too?
Hello,
Yeah, hey, man.
I'm here.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm getting a little bit of freezing, but when I'm
yeah. Let me, I'm working on a few things here. Let's see. Facebook.
I'm coming in on the UDP only link that you sent me a few weeks ago.
Okay. Okay. All right, Bill, you back with us? Let me see if Bill's back. I'll see Glenn's back. Hey, Glenn. Okay, let me put Glenn up here. There we go. Got Glenn in here. See if I can get Bill in here. There's Bill. There's Bill. Let me turn his audio on. Okay, that looks good. Let's see, Bill's 40. Let me get you guys back in a shot here, and we'll be ready to go. All right, I think I got everybody in here now. All right. All right. We got just a few minutes after 8. We'll get started here in just a second. Let's see, Bill, have you got audio? No, he don't have audio. Why don't he have audio? Because he's turned off here. All right, now you got it, I bet you.
I clicked on the debug link and I hit the advanced link above it, and it sent me off in a room with no one in it. So I turned it back off and came back in, and just as a regular. So I don't know if I can share things.
I'll send you another link if you can't share.
If we can see you move, then you can share.
If you see what?
If we can see you moving, then you can probably share. You can try it.
Yeah, I'm not real versed on the remote end. You know, you have to click on that advanced at the top to share.
I'll tell him. I can tell him how to share.
Okay.
What you do is you bring your cursor into the screen with the vMix screen, and you'll see a menu appear, which you can move around the screen. And then right in the middle of it, there's an icon that looks like a computer screen that you can use to start screen sharing.
Did you see that, Bill?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. All right. Good.
If
All
you
right.
click on it,
When
it'll
I
give
click
you
on
a
it,
it'll
it
give you a list of things to share, and it's a pretty extensive list. Everything on your everything is running on
It
your
doesn't
computer.
do it. When I click on it, it just goes red with a line through it.
Okay. All right. When we get ready to share, I'll send you the other link that will allow you to share. I thought that may be a problem here. Okay. All right. Let's check with you're coming in good, Bill, and Brett, you're coming in good. Let's see how Let's see how Glenn's doing. Glenn, can you hear us, man?
I can hear you. Do I have audio?
All right, I can
Yep.
hear you. Yeah,
We can hear you, and you can see you and the cat petting the cat.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's, all right. Let me stop the music here, because we should have already started.
Better, she stands middle. So
We should have already started. Let's see. Music.
The only thing I might want to do is adjust my color.
All right. All right, let's see if we can get started here. And we got a few things to go through tonight. Bill, we'll let you go first after we go around the room here. So everybody just stand by, and we're going to get started.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from here, DD. Oh, and Mark P. Yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites. We learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, and it's always something cool and new. No matter.
All right. All right, everybody, you're listening and watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics, and all those kind of things. We're glad you're with us tonight. If you're out there listening on international shortwave on WBCQ 7490, we'd really like to hear from you. Let us know where you are in the world and tell us how you're hearing the station tonight. You can send an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. We'd love to hear from you. And if you would tonight, please, if you got a subscribe button here, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a whole lot to advertise the show to other people that are actually surfing and looking for shows on this subject. Join our Facebook group if you can. Our Facebook group is called W5KUB. It's a Facebook group. We've got right at 15,000 people. 15,000. It's a great group. It follows the show here, and it's just a great ham radio group to be in. So just go to Facebook and in a search, just type in W5KUB for the short name, and it'll come right up. You can also type in Amateur Radio Roundtable, but that's too much keying. We're also on just about every podcast carrier out there. You can tune in and download, or even without downloading, just listen online to our show anytime, day or night. We'd love to hear from you too. If you just tune into some of the audio podcasts, send us that email too. We've got, let's see, tonight, hey, I've got some pictures. Boy, we're still snowed in here. It's starting to melt. The main streets, they've cleared the main streets where we have at least one lane. Man, I rolled out two big of these garbage cans a few minutes ago to the street, and my driveway is uphill going out to the street. And I got about halfway up, and it got to where I could only do about an inch at a time. It was pretty slick. It's just solid ice out there. So hopefully, but we're getting a little bit of rain here, and it's supposed to be warmer. So I think in the next couple of days, most of that will melt off. Got a couple pictures I'll show you in a little while where they bulldoze some of the snow and ice up. Hey, Bill's with us tonight. He's going to talk to us about these radio sons. Is that how you say it, Bill? Radio son?
That's right, radio science.
Yeah, Radio Son. I keep on saying Radio Sonde, but it's Radio Son. He gonna tell us about that tonight. How to find them, maybe how to convert them to ham radio use and so forth. We'll probably open the phone lines after a while. Brett's got a couple of things. He'll tell us in a minute what he's going to be covering tonight. So, man, I guess that's about it from my end. Let's go to Brett and see what Brett's going to. How you doing first, Brett? And also, what are you going to talk to us tonight about?
Well, got several things going on. It has been windy, but a lot warmer than the rest of the country, and very dry here in Laramie, Wyoming. I've been up on roofs doing antenna work, and I've been looking at setting up a Meshtastic node and researching what the FCC rules allow. And I've discovered some interesting things, which I can talk about during the show, about the FCC Part 15 rules and Meshtastic and the way it does and doesn't conform to the letter of the rules. Now, notice that the FCC hasn't been enforcing anything yet. That's probably because they consider 900 megahertz at least to be sort of a junk band, and they don't worry very much about people breaking the rules there. But it's interesting because if you want to obey the rules, there are certain things you actually are better off using your ham license than you are trying to use Part 15. And what else have I been doing? I've been cleaning up my workbench. I've found some mystery components that I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what they all are because some of them came in junk boxes that I got at Amfest. And just generally doing technical stuff and building things.
Okay, well, I'd be interested to hear about the Meshtastic. I've got some thoughts about Meshtastic too. I thought it would do more than it's doing, but I don't know enough to make it do the other things. Glenn probably can make it do a lot of things, but I can't. So I think you need to be a highly trained Meshtastic person to do that. We're waiting on Glenn's book. I think Glenn's going to write a book, if I'm not mistaken, about Meshtastic, and
I would like. I'm
maybe he'll tell us what we need to do. Yeah. Okay. Now you also went to a Hamfest, didn't you?
Yes. Well, that was a couple of weeks ago, and that was the that was the NCARC Hamfest that was in northern Colorado, and that had a really good swap meet.
Yeah. Is that the one? Is that the one we saw last week?
That's the one I showed you video of. And there's another one coming up.
Okay.
This is Hamfest season in the Front Range, and if you'd like, I'll talk about the ones that are coming up. There's also the New Mexico Tech Fest, which is a really interesting day of technical sessions that's coming up, and you can attend. If you don't want to go to New Mexico, you can attend that one online. And then next month, HamSci is having a conference, and they're going to be having it in New Britain, Connecticut, which is right near ARRL headquarters, and they're going to be covering some interesting stuff there.
Okay, great. Well, maybe I misread the email you sent me today. I thought you had gone to a new one, but that was interesting one we saw last week. And when you go to this next one, be sure and get plenty of video.
I will, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, how's your weather been out there? I guess it's been like summertime, right?
It's been unusually warm for January. It's been while you've been buried under snow, it missed us, and we have almost no snowpack, which is kind of a concern for water for the summer. We may have drought-like conditions, but in terms of getting out and working, it's been pretty warm. The only issue has been the wind. It can get blown off a rooftop if you're not careful.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Now, do you have to get out on the roof almost daily?
Most weekdays I go out and I'm on at least one roof because that's my wireless internet business. I have to install antennas, upgrade antennas, maintain antennas. So I'm up there a lot. but we do try to be safe. On the windiest days, I don't climb.
And I tell you, I don't know if you're talking about flat roofs or slanted roofs. My roof on this house is like a 12-12 pitch, and that's just about straight up. I don't see how anybody walks on it. That would be dangerous, I would think. Do you climb up these real slanted roofs, or do you put your device at the edge of the roof?
We can climb roofs that are a 45-degree angle. Most roofs here are not that, so we don't have to worry about that so much. The 12 pitch is 45 degrees. And we do mount a lot of antennas on walls, so a lot of the time it's not climbing on the roof, it's hauling up a ladder to the side of the building and putting up a mount on that. But yes, 45 degrees is not a comfortable pitch to climb on, but if you're careful and you have protective gear, you can do it.
Well, man, I tell you, and I've got a lot of valleys that fill up with leaves and ice, and I'll have my guys come over and they'll put a big backpack blower on, and they'll go up on a roof with that big backpack blowing jet engine on them, and they'll walk all around on that roof, no safety ropes or nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, OSHA would say they really should use a rope or something, and you should have D-rings up on your roof. But a lot of people don't observe that. As for the valleys, they have a shallower slope than the rest of the roof. So if they're clear, if you're not going to slide, they're actually the easiest place to walk.
Yeah, but they don't walk on the valleys. They walk all over the roof, man. All right. All right, well, good. We'll get into the FCC questionable things here in a little while with you. Glenn, your cat's trying to get out the window back there, Glenn.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I thought I saw
rabbits out in the yard now.
All right. So, Glenn, what have you been doing this week? Digging out?
A little bit. I mean, I still have ice and snow in the backyard. The front's cleared up good. Streets cleared up about, let's see, Saturday or Friday, thereabouts. The streets were clear. Went to a pizza party down in Benton, which is about 40 minutes from here, and had fun Saturday night. But also been working on the AW handbook, writing the networking section now, and we just finished that up this morning, and getting for Orlando next week.
Oh man, is that already here?
Yeah, it's
well, I guess you'll be
an Arduino.
You'll be seeing Bill down here. I'm not going to make it.
Oh yeah, I think Bill's form is after mine. Sure, I'm doing Friday, Bill, and
Okay.
but I'm doing an Arduino
Saturday.
there. Okay, probably get to see yours then. And like Brett said, this is ham season. The Russellville is on March the 7th, and then a forum at, I think I'm doing a forum in Russellville as well. But the 4th that I'm doing another ham fest. And Brett, you were about the Meshtastic book. Apparently, a lot of ARRL have gotten to read it. I have. It's not officially out yet, but several people have commented to me about it. So it is just about out, and it's a way that we're. So, or I think I forget what we're calling it now, but it will bring Meshtastic, Arden, Ham Wham. So much every microwave networking is going to be bad. Hey, I may get to see it in Orlando. I don't know. I have not heard much. But, clear of all that ice and snow on the streets and everything, I'm able to get out and about and do whatever I want. But the backyard got an inch of ice snow on it that's really slick. I'm not getting outside. We're in the 60s now, so it's
Oh,
going to
man.
melt off tomorrow.
Well, it's not like that here yet. I think we hit 40,
Yeah,
but it's
first
going back
real
down, I
day.
think, tonight.
Today was the first real day above freezing. Tonight, get freezing, but it's going to be in the 60s and higher tomorrow, so it's on by tomorrow night.
All right, and Bill, we'll get to you just a minute. I may have to send you a different link to do the share. But how do you fare down in the Huntsville area with all the ice and snow?
We were lucky. It all went about 30 miles northwest of us at Huntsville. The roads were bad in Huntsville and northwest Alabama. But we just had a thin coating of ice that melted away, and then it was just rain, lots of rain. But that froze. So out by the barn and the duck pond, it was frozen solid, and I had goldfish in the pond. They froze completely solid right to the ground, right to the bottom of their pool. But when it thawed out, they're still living.
Man,
They hibernate.
did you get any
So the
ice at all?
ducks couldn't swim, so they were walking around on top of the ice wondering what to do.
Now you're up on a mountain, so I'm just wondering, man, did you get stranded up there?
I got more snow up here than down in the valley. I have my goat farm and is down in the valley 2 miles away. But if I had a zip line, I could be there in about 2 minutes for a hang glider. But it takes me 9 miles and 15 minutes to get between the two places.
Might be a little
My
difficult.
workshop in Hampshire up on the mountain, no.
Might be a little difficult getting back up though.
Down on the goat farm.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, we'll talk about the radio zones here in just a minute. Let me give you guys a report, kind of what we're facing here, man. This ice storm that we got is hanging around quite a while, man. We're into like the second or starting the third week. I have no idea, but our neighborhood is still solid, pretty much solid ice on the streets. We may have a few little ruts today. The major streets, they did clear at least a lane, and it is starting to melt on the major streets. I got a couple pictures here. Let me get these out and see if we can look at them and see what we've got. I went yesterday to Kroger, to get the milk and bread, and you can see I think they actually had a bulldozer, and they probably just they had the parking lot really clean, and they had it was really clean, but then they piled it up, and that's going to be there for a while, I'm pretty sure. So there's a shot of one of the main streets going down to Kroger, so you can see I've got at least one lane there that's kind of cleared off, and that wasn't too bad. And again another shot of the parking lot. You can see they've piled it up out there. And
That snow will be there until May.
Yeah, or June or July. It's going to be there a while. Let me tell you that's pretty much ice. That's not snow. That's a white colored ice, man.
Wow.
And
I hope there isn't an Austin Mini under one of those piles.
Yeah, well, there may be a Volkswagen or something under there. I don't know, man. It took me 2 days. My son-in-law helped me yesterday. On my double garage door, I had a drift that had blown up to the garage door, and it was about 2 feet high, and it was solid ice. I had to get a coal miner's pick, and we chiseled that thing off and scooped it up with shovels and got it out of the way because you couldn't get the cars out of the garage. There are people down here that have tried that, and if they get the car to bump over that hill, then their car gets hung on it like a seesaw, and the wheels come off the ground. And I was afraid it might tear the oil pan or something off. on Kathy's car. It's so low, and my truck is pretty high, but I was afraid to try to go across it with my truck, that it could damage my truck there. But yeah, there's some good piles of it. Oh, that was for Bill. There's some good piles of it. You can see it's just everywhere. And but hey, we always like the snow. This one lasted a little longer than we normally get. You know, we'll normally get a snow and it lasts about 8 hours and it's gone. And we're so glad we had a snow. But this thing lasted a lot longer. The roads down here, especially the highways, the interstate, and everything, it was just, you know, we had backups for like 50 miles. Traffic was not moving or anything. Got a couple more little pictures here. Let me see if I can get them on here. Let's see.
Tom, is the power still out south of you in Mississippi?
I think it's still out in a lot of places. Bill, do you know? You may have heard more than me. I'm not following it that much. Power outages in Mississippi.
Oh yeah, they had the worst of it hit central northern Mississippi. Just south of you was horrendous. There were trees down, broken down from all the ice. They had about 1 inch of ice coating everything.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up a link here. Let's see. I had a couple little shorts here I wanted to show you. All right, let's see if I can get this on here. This is I think this is Interstate 55 coming up. This is just south of the state line, right below Memphis. This is like probably 15 miles south of Memphis here, but they're all stopped pretty much, and it's just solid ice. So that's what the roads are like down here. There were people actually that were.
Good thing I don't live there.
There were people, yeah, Glenn. That's close to your old homestead there.
I was going to say where I live, so I'd still be locked in the house.
That's true, and there were people out there that spent the night. They spent 24 hours in their car or truck. And let's see, I got another one here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that's the same one. Let me go back. I'm not even sure what this one is. I don't think this is not one I was wanting to show you, but he cut that with a he cut it with a sawzall, and then after he cut it with a sawzall, he was able to pick it up. I don't know where he is, but that's the kind of interesting way they were getting that up. All right. Well, there was a couple I wanted to show you, and I couldn't find them there. So, all right. Well, Bill, I'm going to resend you the link, and you can reconnect real fast. Well, let's
Okay.
see. Let me get it.
And I click on advanced option, right?
Yeah.
It took a couple minutes last time you sent me the link.
Did it? Uh, I'm not sure what link I sent you. I'll send you one. Let me set it up
I
real
haven't
quick.
got it yet.
I'll set it up real quick. Video call. Copy link. All right, we've almost got it. I almost got it to you, Bill. Okay, that one should let you come in. Be sure, once you click on that, be sure and click on top where it says advanced, advanced check-in,
Okay.
login, whatever. You can just go ahead and log out of that one.
I haven't got it yet, but when I do, I'll log.
Now you have to log out of it. You have to log out of where you are and then click that link.
Right. I had to find where it was that I logged in. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kill that link, and Bill can come in on the other link. There he is. All right. Let me put you up here. Okay. I think we got you. There you are. All right. All right, what you going to talk to us about, Bill? Let me turn you on here. Here we go.
Free amateur radio payloads that fall from the sky. They're out there. Just go out and grab them and convert them to the ham radio band. You've got free transmitters on the UHF band on 70 centimeters. So I'm going to try and share my screen here. And let's see if I can find my PowerPoint. And of course, I don't see the PowerPoint.
That's the way it is here.
Oh, I'm looking at Chrome tabs. I have to look at Windows. Sorry. Well, let me bring up the PowerPoint and see if I can find it here. Share. Yeah. This program is, I'll just share the entire screen of PowerPoint. Do you see that?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Okay. Okay, can you see that? Free ham radio transmitters?
Well, I mean, I'm seeing an email.
No, a PowerPoint. Do you see the
No,
PowerPoint?
uh, I'm
See me
seeing your
now,
email.
Vincent.
I think you have to.
You selected the wrong window.
Yeah, I think it lists different windows for you to select. So I'd go back in there again. There you go.
Yes, it will let you select either Windows or browser tabs.
Nope, nope. I'll see you.
Now I'm just fooling myself.
I bet you Bill figures it out here in a minute. Yeah, he used to work at NASA.
It allows me to. There. Okay. Now
I told you he'd figure it out. So hey, Bill, before you get started, and you might cover this, but I got a question for you. I don't know how many of these are launched every day, and I don't know how many locations launch it. But what's the odds that that every couple of days one's going to fall in your area?
Right now, your area, they're dropping all around Memphis from the Little Rock launch site. So
Okay.
you should go out and find them. They're dropping around you right now. Mine, the ones closest to me, are landing in Georgia. So
Oh wow.
now there's a website called tracker.sondhub.org, and I'll show an example of that shows all the radiosondes that are launched every day. Um, the main Weather Bureau ones are sent up at 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening. And there are some sites that send up 4 or 5 of these a day, about every 6 hours. And I'm really lucky to have one about 30 or 40 miles west of me. It's called the Atmospheric Research um, Module, and they brought it down from Alaska, and they're doing atmospheric research over North Alabama because we are now the tornado alley of the country. We're
Mm.
about to supersede Oklahoma and Texas and Kansas. So they put that facility in here, and they send these radiosondes up. And during the fall, they were dropping all around my house. Several of them landed just 2 miles away. So here's an example of one laying on the ground. That's Bev, WB4ELK, finding one out in the middle of a field. This is the website, tracker.sondhub.org. And if you go there, it'll show you a live view of where these are flying if you log on during the flight times. And they're all over the country and all over the world. So wherever you are in the country or the world, you can go to tracker.sondhub.org, SONDEHUB.org, tracker.sondhub.org. And a lot of people are running a Raspberry Pi, and there's a free program called Radiosonde Auto RX and an RTL SDR dongle, and you've got a ground station that feeds into this website. I have one here that's hooked up to my 70 centimeter beam, and I can copy these things clear out to Little Rock. So, and to the west, and Athens, Georgia to the east. So I pick them up all the time with it just as an automated station. They're typically on 401 to 406 megahertz. So I'm going to talk about new ham radio mode. It's a 4 FSK mode called Horus Binary. Now there is a version 3 out now. So basically there's 2 types of radiosondes primarily that are flown in the United States. That's the Vistula RS-41, or the GRAW DFM17. And I'll show you a couple examples of those after the talk here, and how to program them. There's another one called iMet that a lot of universities use as well. I have a collection of all three versions. So, but anyways, this new, there's a firmware on GitHub, RS41NG. Just search for GitHub RS41NG or RS41NFW. Those are the two that are out there to program these things. I have collected 30 of them in 2 months' time when they were dropping all around me.
Wow.
And I think they cost the Weather Bureau several $100s. So they're pretty sophisticated. They've got temp sensors and all kinds of stuff.
Hey,
This
hey,
is
Bill, I got a
what horse-
question. Can you
Yes.
go back? Can you go back that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the device that I remember, the old radio Sone, to me was a box about 10 inches square, if I remember correctly. Are these
That's
new?
right.
Are these new boxes that are smaller now?
These are real small payloads. They weigh about 3 ounces,
Oh wow!
and
And
they
and is the
put out
orange? Are those parachutes?
yes, but
Okay.
the ones that fly out of here do not have a parachute. These are light enough that they deemed it safe to drop them without a parachute. And the remains of the balloon act as a parachute, and they land in pretty decent shape. So I had one land in the middle of a highway in the center medium. That was kind of exciting. I've got semi trucks flying by on each side of a 4-lane highway, and I'm walking in there to get it.
So
And
if Bill, if no parachute now, if one of those boxes fell on your head from 100,000 feet, you don't think it'd hurt you?
I think it probably needed aspirin afterwards, yes. Or
I
maybe
think I would think you might need stitches.
they're a little styrofoam box that weigh 3 ounces.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, they look plastic to me. I thought they were hard plastic.
oh no, they used to be. Now they're styrofoam. Probably
Okay.
just for that reason.
Okay.
So I have a pretty hard head, so that probably wouldn't affect me. So this is what Horus binary is. You can actually see the 4 tones in this example there. And it says 100 baud, 4 tones spaced 270 hertz apart. And it takes about 3 seconds for a packet, 1 kilohertz bandwidth, and it's a GOLA forward error correction. So it is like APRS, where it's error-free, but it is similar to teletype or RIDI. But it's dramatically better signal to noise than APRS even, or RIDI. In fact, it's a 20 dB advantage over 1200 baud APRS AFSK. So it's an amazing, these run about 50 milliwatts or so, and I was able to copy it 120 miles away during a flight we did here. And a group in Indianapolis sent one up, and it was 330 miles, and I had perfect copy on it. And for 50 milliwatts on the 70 centimeter band, running this mode. It's really amazing weak signal mode. It's not as good as Whisper, but you get a lot of information. You have lat long, date, altitude, speed, number of satellites, temperature, voltage, all kinds of stuff. You have to have a UHF capable sideband radio. And basically, you find a radio sawn out in the field, bring it home. You don't have to obtain a Horus ID anymore. You can actually program it with your call sign now in version 3. And then you flash the firmware with a $12 dongle called ST Link version 2. with the firmware that you can find on GitHub. And like I say, the older ones that have a serial number of V that begin with a V or U, you can use this RS41NG and program it on a Raspberry Pi. The newer ones that begin with a W in the serial number, you probably need the RS41NFW GitHub. And it's a little more complicated, but still free, but it's programmed with Arduino. You have to download an STM32 board into the Arduino, but it's all programmed in Arduino, and it's flashed with a free software from STM directly. It's all free, and then you launch it. Or you can use these as fox hunt transmitters. They make a great fox hunt. They play a little tone, a little musical kind of tone, like a computer robot sound, and then send a Morse code message, and you can turn the power way down to 25 milliwatts and I think 10 milliwatts, and these would be excellent for fox hunt transmitters.
So Bill, I assume that you're not going to launch this with a balloon like when we fly the Pico balloons, right?
Yes, I'm about to do one solar power on a Pico balloon, and I can keep it down to around 60 grams. It'll be pretty,
Wow.
but yes, I am planning to do a Pico launch. But we primarily use these on, when we fly them on balloons, we fly them on the weather balloons that go up to 100,000 feet, because you can copy these far far weaker signal than APRS. So if you've got a ground station in your car, you can receive these on Raspberry Pis or a PC with a little RTL SDR dongle. And if you can barely hear an APRS signal and you aren't be able to decode it, you will be able to decode this from a great distance. So it's a really, really cool weak signal mode with fairly high speed 100 baud data downloads. So it's 432 megahertz upper sideband. You can use an ICOM 9700 or any HF radio that has UHF, as long as it can do upper sideband, or a $35 Quancheng UVK5 HT. And there's a free program download that will convert the Quancheng from FM to AM and sideband. It'll do multi-mode now. And in fact, it'll do a wide range of receive, not just 2 meters and 440. So it's a cool little handheld. I have 2 of them here, one for the car and one for the shack. And then easiest way to decode this without have to load anything at all is that with your phone or your computer, just type in that website and then fill in, go to the config and fill in your station information. And then it will decode the audio coming from your radio, your handheld or your big rig in the house. Just hold your phone or your laptop up to it, and it will decode it and send it to amateur.sondhub.org. So and you can also download an executable for Windows called Horace GUI that actually supports various different audio, and that works great too. There's an example there on the right. You can see what the 4 tones look like. And I use a Raspberry Pi and an RTL SDR for the ham shack. And I have a laptop and an RTL SDR. Actually, I have a FunCube dongle in the car. So this is what it looks like when you're receiving it on HD SDR hooked up to a FunCube dongle or an RTL SDR. Some people use SDR Sharp, and I just prefer the DSDR. This is the control program for uh, one of the dongles, RF dongles, and you've got a full waterfall display and everything. It's really pretty neat. You can see the 4 tones there in the middle of the screen. And that is receiving Horace binary from a balloon over Indiana, 364 miles away. And he was running somewhere between 25 and 50 milliwatts on 432.7 megahertz. That's the power of this mode. We had 25 milliwatts using a modified Vizsla RS-41. And there's what it looks like decoding Hertz balloon. And you can see over there on the right, 586 kilometers away. And it still has a decent signal to noise of at least 5 dB at that range.
Yeah. It looks like it has a very high power spectrum, spectral density, because it's only 1 kilohertz wide. So that'll
Right,
go a
it
long
does.
way.
Now, are these? I guess these are battery powered.
Yes. 2 AA lithium batteries.
And
So
how
this is
long?
what
How long will the
what
batteries last in them? Somebody said there's one south of me, but it's on the ground,
16
or it's
hours.
actually in a tree. I don't know how they know that.
16 hours, and but they have a countdown timer, at burst timer. When it bursts, they give you 8.5 hours to find it. The advantage of that is when you do find it, you now have 2 lithium AA batteries for free that have half their life left on them. But this is an example of the telemetry. This is a balloon I received from AE5AU in Little Rock while I was over Little Rock. So that's the power of the mode. And in fact, AE5AU, are you familiar with him, Glenn? He's not far from you.
Yeah, they are on a Discord group that I'm a member of, and always chasing and tracking and doing this. So yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Okay, he sent one up the other day on a small
Yeah,
100-gram balloon with a little tank of helium, and it went all the way from Little Rock and landed about 60 miles north of me in the foothills of Tennessee. And I was tracking it the whole way.
yeah, it on you some of their stuff. Yeah, I see it in the Discord.
But that's the website to follow these on the amateur balloon launches. It's just similar to the one that tracks radiosondes. The only difference is instead of the word amateur, you would put tracker in there to track the radiosondes. And then you can click on plots, see all kinds of neat features. This is a chase mapper for a direct link to a balloon and with a map while you're driving, and it has offline predictions. You're chasing a balloon, and this is all you need is a little Raspberry Pi and SDR and a GPS and a little notepad or a monitor. It's runs headless, ideal for a Pi, and you use a little VPN program to log into the Pi, and then you don't need to put a monitor on it. But you can also display it with a tablet on the web browser. And this is a neat mode. It's called WeNet, I think they called it. And it uses a Raspberry Pi camera, compresses it, transmits it on 115.2 baud link. It's 2 FSK, but it's not LoRa, but it uses LoRa radio transmitters. Primarily, we use the ones for 400 and the 70 centimeter band LoRa. And we can send live images down this way at 115.2 baud. KBOD. This is an example of a WeNet payload that sends live images. And the hat's $30 for that little module to modulate it on 70 centimeters. You need a little Raspberry Pi camera. And then he 3D printed a cover and put one of those faucet covers that they use to keep your faucets from freezing in the winter, and he covers it with that. So there's one of their balloon launches where they set up one. You do need some antenna gain, though, for this mode. But it uploads to this website, ssdv.habhub.org. And if you have multiple ground stations, it picks up, it sends little packets that fill in any gaps you might have in the picture. And then they also have this new mode called wnet.sondhub.org. And this is what an image looks like sent down by WeNet from a Raspberry Pi camera.
Oh, that's cool.
On one of these payloads. And it tells you how many parts of the images are missing. But if you have several ground stations, if one has a glitch and misses a couple of image packets, the other one will fill in the gap. And then you end up with, often you get a perfect picture like this one. There may be one or two glitches in this image. I think there might have been a couple missing, but it's hard to see. But this is an amazing, the group KE5GDB, Andy, is the one that has been flying these and modifying these RS-481 radiosondes. And he's out of a group in Texas, that in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And they fly a lot of these payloads. And thanks to Andy KE5GDB for supplying these slides. So this is all you need to launch a live camera view that you can send up to the stratosphere and see for hundreds of miles. And that's what the ground station in its pickup truck looks like. And there's the Raspberry Pi and GPS and all the modules he needs to receive it on the ground. Now, I mentioned this Quanshine all mode VHF, UHF, HT, and there's free software. You actually use the chirp mode just like you're programming channels in. It's a USB to an audio jack that plugs into the microphone and audio jack on the side of the radio, and it reprograms it to be all mode. You just search for F4HWN software. It's a great little radio. It's like $35 or so. So I want to thank Andrew, KE5GDB. There's his contact information. Project Horus, you can find their information on GitHub. And SondHub, both the amateur and the tracker.sondhub.org. So I'll stop sharing and show you a few of these, what they look like.
That's amazing. Is that actually a launch that they did that?
Oh, that picture, I was at a balloon conference. That's my balloon taken from a camera from another balloon that was following along with it about 200 feet away. That's 50,000 feet above the earth.
Wow.
Okay, now, I think I stopped sharing, but I don't see my live camera.
I think you have to click the toggle screen share.
I think you just, the button that says screen share, there you go, you're back.
There you go.
That was
Okay.
easy. You did it, man. This is some
All right.
interesting stuff.
This is what one of the Vicelas look like. And it's got a label on the back that says harmless weather instruments. Don't panic. Oh, there it says harmless.
Yeah,
Not
Maybe
a
it should say
Chinese spy
mostly.
device.
It might say mostly harmless. This has got a temperature sensor and a humidity sensor on it. And then you just pop the case open, which actually takes some effort. I have a special tool that I 3D printed to do that. And there's the inside of the board. It runs off two AA lithium batteries. I replaced the expensive lithium batteries with some Duracells, Evereadys, I mean. And it's a really cool board. It actually has a pressure sensor on the bottom, and some of these do. But it's a very complicated board, and it's a great little transmitter. And this is what it looks like out of the box. And it's got this little wire antenna for the 400 megahertz band. And they usually, like I say, they're 401 to 406 megahertz, but they tune up to the 432 band just beautifully. This is a DFM 17, and this is another popular one that the Weather Bureau has been flying. They're a little more difficult to program, and they tend to drift, whereas the Vicela is very solid performer.
Now, does the Weather Bureau prefer to get those back? Is there an
Now,
address or something
if
there?
you call them up and say, "I found one of your payloads," they'll say, "Just dispose of it properly in the trash. We don't
Is
want
that
it
right?
back."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, I was chasing one, and I have a little device here. It's called the LilyGo. This is popular
Yeah.
amongst
Yeah.
the LoRa people.
Yeah. Look,
That's the LilyGo.
looks like the Mesh-tastic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the one I
But
got.
you can program this with a program called GoSondi. And Mark, K9SZX, told me about this one.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing is it'll receive the radiosondes when they're transmitting and display them, and you link it through Bluetooth to your phone. There's a little app that you can download, and it shows a map, and it shows exactly where you are and where the balloon is, and you can walk right to it. So I was chasing one, and my phone showed that it was sitting on a front porch of a house. I said, "How did it get there?" So I walked up towards the house, and the guy came out and picked up the radioson off his swing that was on the porch, and he said, "You looking for this?"
Yeah.
I found it on my
Cool.
workshop this morning, but it was still transmitting. And then another woman, I found one, and she goes, I asked, "I see that it might be in your backyard." And she goes, "Yeah, I found it. They told me to throw it in the trash." And so she walked over to the trash can and pulled out this nicely packaged plastic
Yeah.
bag with the radios on it and handed it to me.
Well, Bill,
Oh,
that's
neat.
just like the Mesh-tastic. Basically, it's a Bluetooth to the same board. Just we're running
Right.
different software, and there's the map you get, and I mean it's
Yep.
pretty good map, and you know it looks like you can do different things with those boards. I mean,
Oh yeah,
different
it's a
software.
very
Yeah,
powerful board. And they cost like what, 15, $20, and
yeah,
it's called LilyGo. And the program you want to find for the radiosondes is My Sondy Go. Just search for My Sondy Go, MYSONDY Go. I think Mark might put a link in there in the chat room because
Yeah.
he's been chasing these a long time, and he's been using these. But
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun to chase, and I've got one here that's transmitting Horace right now. You can see it draws between 50 milliamps, and it draws about
Yeah.
120 when it transmits. And it's transmitting every few seconds right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
And I have it live on my computer. See if I get an infinite. Let me bring that up here. So there it is. That's a live transmission. Every few seconds it'll come up and give me data. You can see there's the signal coming in. And this is being posted on SonTub Amateur. Well, there we go. And there it is. And that's the data coming down. I'm at 1146 feet. That's about right.
Cool.
And you see it just jumped around there? It's actually,
Yeah. So how
it
often
just
is it?
finally, the
How
GPS
often?
just locked
About
in.
how often is the map updating? Every few seconds.
About every 10 seconds or so.
Oh, that's so good.
You can actually take one of these and walk it around your house and see you moving on the map. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Bill. Thanks for showing us that. I'm sure people may be interested in playing with it and trying it. Looks like some of the people in our chat room are very familiar with it and are doing it. So that's kind of cool.
I particularly enjoyed uh, the Raspberry Pi camera live transmission.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool using a Raspberry Pi. And
Yeah.
I've got one of those payloads here too. And I want to thank KE5GDB. KE5GDB, Andy, and Mike, KD2EAT, are working on updating the Horus software for the newer version of the Sans. So they should be coming out with that pretty soon.
All right, we're going to move on. Appreciate you sharing that with us, Bill. And we'll talk more about it maybe on a later show here as more people get interested in it. You're welcome to stick around with us. We normally have about 15 more minutes left here in the show. So, guys, stand by a second, and then we're going to go to Brett, and we're going to find out what he thinks about Meshtastic and what he thinks might be some questionable operation under the FCC rules. So we'll be back in just a second here. Let's all go over to ICOM and check out the IC705. The IC705 is an HF 50, 144, and 440 megahertz multi-mode portable transceiver. It gives you base station performance and features in the palm of your hand. The IC705 is a perfect sidekick and QRP companion. Its compact rig weighs just over 2 pounds with RF direct sampling for most of the HF band and an IF sampling for frequencies above 25 megahertz. It includes a 4.3-inch touchscreen with live band scope waterfall, 5 watts with a BP272, and 10 watts with a 13.8 volt DC. Integrated GPS with antenna and GPS logger. Supports QRP, QRPP operations. Heard it, worked it, logged it for the love of ham radio. For more information about ICOM's amateur radios and to locate a dealer, please visit icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, well, let's jump over with Brett. And Brett, what are you reading there? You're reading the rules. What's going on, man?
Well, here's what's going on. I'm interested in setting up a Meshtastic repeater, and I wanted to find out what kinds of antennas I could use, and what the limits were, how to make sure that I conform properly to Part 15 of the FCC rules. So I started looking at those rules, and what I found was very interesting, and I'll show you on the screen. I'll screen share here. I'll show you the part of the FCC rules that apparently the Meshtastic equipment may not conform to with the current software. So here we go. This is the FCC, Part 15 rules. Now, it's if you want to look it up online, it's 47 Code of Federal Regulations, Part 15, and it's the paragraph we're looking at is 15.247, and you can find this on the web by putting that into a search engine. Now, if you look here, this section governs the operation of transmitters within the band 702 to 728 megahertz.
900.
Yeah, there are 902 to 920 megahertz. I'm sorry. Anyway, there are two kinds that are allowed: frequency hopping transmitters and digitally modulated intentional radiators. Those are the two kinds. So the LoRa radios, which are used by Meshtastic, are not frequency hoppers, and so they're digital modulation radios. They're using spread spectrum. And here's the part that's interesting. It says here, systems using digital modulation may operate in the band, and not only in that band, but also in the Wi-Fi bands. It says right here, the minimum 6 dB bandwidth shall be at least 500 kilohertz. And that's where I stopped. Because it turns out that the LoRa radios, the way they're programmed for Meshtastic in the default mode, use what's called the long fast mode, and it only has a bandwidth of 250 kilohertz, not 500. To make a LoRa radio work with a bandwidth of 500 kilohertz, you have to go to something called the slow. I think it's the fast turbo mode, and that has a shorter range, but it has a bandwidth of 500 kilohertz. So when you take a Meshtastic node out of the box and you operate it with the Meshtastic software in the default mode, which is where you can basically hear everybody and everybody can hear you, it doesn't conform to this portion of the FCC rules. At least if you're trying to use it without a license. Now, if you're a ham, and if you're using this on the portion of the band which hams are allowed to use, you have more flexibility. And you can make it so that you can actually conform to the FCC rules. But the folks who are running around with unlicensed Meshtastic nodes actually are not conforming to the FCC rules, at least if they load up the standard software and use it in the standard way. So that's what I discovered, and it's made me think twice. I don't want the FCC to come knocking on my door. It's made me a little bit concerned about doing that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I exactly want to. I want to get in trouble with the FCC. But that's, again, using Part 15. If you're a ham, well, suddenly all sorts of doors open. You're allowed to change the antennas to higher gain without getting certification from the FCC. You're allowed to determine yourself whether you conform to the rules, and the rules aren't as strict in terms of what you. So basically, most people who are using Meshtastic aren't following the letter of the FCC rules. Now, does that mean that they're necessarily going to show up at your door? Well, probably not. The 900 megahertz band is the ISM band, as they call it, is generally considered by the FCC to be a junk band, where there's all kinds of interference, there's all kinds of devices with questionable characteristics out there, and they don't run around trying to police it. So you might be safe unless you put up a high-profile node like a big repeater. But if you're putting up a repeater that covers the whole area that a lot of people can hear, that might interfere with a lot of things, then you might want to think twice. And so I'm considering putting up a ham radio repeater for Meshtastic, but not a Part 15 one.
Wow. I wonder how many hams are actually on that band. I think probably the general rule is most everybody goes on the unlicensed band.
That's correct.
Yep.
Hmm.
And
have you contacted?
Yes.
Yeah, have you contacted the Meshtastic folk and notified them and tried to get a clarification?
I haven't yet contacted the developers to see whether maybe maybe they could consider using a default mode that conforms to the FCC rules. But there's yet another problem, and that is that when you're operating under Part 15 of the FCC rules, your equipment has to be certified. The whole thing, the radio and the antenna and the enclosure and everything else. And if you change things except within a very limited range of what you're allowed to change, suddenly it doesn't conform anymore. Now, the little Heltec modules that I bought, which I showed a couple of webcasts ago, aren't certified in the first place with any antenna. And you need to certify the device with an antenna. And then you're allowed to put on one that has less gain, but one that has more. But they're not certified with any. And so there's no way I can determine whether an antenna substitution is going to be legal. I can't find the certification to do that. So again, strictly speaking, they're not legal, but on the other hand, like I said, no one seems to be stopping anyone from doing it because the FCC is very permissive about that ban. So you kind of have to use your discretion there. I think if you're going to be using Meshtastic with Part 15. Again, if you're a ham, not a problem. You're allowed to determine whether your equipment conforms. You're allowed to modify it in a lot of ways. You don't have to start with certified equipment. You can homebrew it. You can do all sorts of things that the general public isn't allowed to do. And so then you're pretty safe.
Yeah, the cure is 90% of the people in Meshtastic are doing the unlicensed Part 15. So again, that's going to need to be clarified or something to that effect from folks.
Yep. I mean, they've got to. They really. I think if they really want to become legal, they need to talk about equipment certification. They need to talk about testing the equipment with the biggest antennas they can, because you can go down again in game, but you can't go up. And they need to talk about conforming to the picky rules about power spectral density. I mean, the reason why they want you to have at least 500 kilohertz worth of bandwidth is because then you're not transmitting too much power at any one place on the spectrum, and so you're not creating as much interference with someone else who's right there at that spot on the band. That's the reason for the FCC requirement. So the Meshtastic folks actually can program the radio to do that, but that's not the default right now.
Okay.
So that's the story.
That's the
what I'm
story,
finding out.
and that's the story, and you're
Yeah.
sticking to it.
Yep.
Well, I'll mention this. I don't think they'll come arrest anybody, but Bill, I think we've got a similar problem with the Pico balloons. As far as I read one of the regulations that says you can only unmanned beacons have to be 10 meters and above. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but that doesn't seem to be followed, I guess, strict to the law, or maybe I'm interpreting it wrong.
I haven't seen anything that that says that what you're doing with your balloons is illegal, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, just don't go to the door if somebody comes to the door. That's all you got to do. I always put Glenn's call on the tracker when I launch one, so I try to, stay pretty much anonymous there. And
Well, if the FCC van starts following your balloon over Mongolia, then you might need to worry.
yeah, maybe, I saw somebody on one of the Pico forums that I follow. He was talking about his transmissions over North Korea, and I don't know where that regulation is, but Bill, I mean, North Korea is one of those you can't transmit over. I don't know who will come arrest you. I guess the North Koreans will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bill, you're not talking, Bill. Are you muted?
Sorry, I had the microphone on mute. I say Glenn will have Kim and Jenny will come visiting him.
Yeah, you'll have somebody.
Yep.
If
I
his
hear-
call sign
I'll invite him in for
balloon.
coffee. Yeah, I'll just tell him it's shadows. Balloon,
heard.
let them do.
I heard a story once where the guy said there's a Pico balloon flyer, and he said this big old black limousine pulled up in front of my house with dark windows, and two great big old Chinese guys in suits got out of the car and came and knocked on my door, and he said I didn't answer it. Man. All right, guys, we've just about come to the end of the show tonight. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. We didn't have time to open the phone lines. We had a lot of fun last week. I think Bill called in. He started the phone call in. So we had 6 people call in. I was hoping to try to break that record tonight. But anyway, I think it's about time to sign off here. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You've been watching or listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics, and we're so glad you're with us. If you listened on the radio, you can also join the show live on Tuesday nights. Just go to w5kub.com at 8 o'clock Central Time, and you can join the live show, video show, and we also have a chat room here. So I'll say good night to everybody out there, and we, again, really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you can. And let's see, what are we going to close with tonight? Let's see. This looks like a Rodan or somebody.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
I used to have a monitor just like that.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WI7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from your crew, and there's always something cool in